Welcome to CSEGuru. In this session, we will discuss the topic location of functions. In C programming, where we can place the function that represents the location of functions. A function can be located in three different regions. Immediately after the header file, we can place the complete user-defined function. That is first method. Second method is after the main function. That is header file we will specify first, then the main function, and then the user-defined function we will place it. That is the second method. And third method is create a separate file for the user-defined function and compile that file. And in the C program, if it is required, that user-defined function is required in the sense, just include that function in the header file section. Okay, so here user-defined function will be maintained separately and the C program will be maintained separately. Both the code will not be included together. That is the third method. First, we will discuss the functions immediately after the header file section. So here, place the entire function definition after the header file section. We know the rules to implement the user-defined function. There are three elements in user-defined function. One is function declaration, function call, and function definition. That is function header and function body. Okay. The function declaration or function prototype we will place immediately after the header file section. Okay. So in the header file section only we will declare the function. But here, if you are considering in the sense, the complete function itself, we are placing immediately after the header file section. Okay. So here, since we are placing the complete user-defined function, separate function declaration is not required here. Since we are placing the complete user-defined function in the header file section itself. Okay. So this is the first method. So place the entire function definition after the header file section. So here we are eliminating the function declaration because we are combining function declaration as well as function definition into one. So here function definition appears before main function. So this is the function definition and this function definition appears before the main function. Okay, so here the complete function definition we are placing immediately after the header file section before the main function. Okay, in between the header file section and the main function, we are placing the complete user-defined function. And here the function declaration or function prototype is not required. So here the first statement itself will be considered as the declaration. Okay, so here function declaration and function definition are combined, but good practice in the sense, that is good programming practice in the sense, we should include function declaration. Okay, generally programmers won't prefer this method, that is placing the function immediately after the header file, but this is valid. It won't raise any error. Okay, so this is the first method. And the second method is the usual method what we are using, that is place the function after the main function. Okay, place the function prototype immediately after the header file section. So immediately after the header file section, before the main function, we need to place the function declaration. That is nothing but other name is function prototype. Okay, so here we need to place and place the entire function definition after the main function. So the function definition we have to place after the main function. And this is nothing but the function header. Okay. And this is nothing but function body. Okay. And the total thing, if you are considering in the sense, that is nothing but the function definition. These and all already we know. Okay. So this is function declaration. Okay. So here, immediately after the header file section, we are placing function declaration. And after the main function, we are placing the function definition. That is a complete user-defined function. So here, first, the compiler will verify the function prototype. What is the return data type of the function? What is the function name? What are all the parameters we are passing? And what is the data type of the parameters? Everything the compiler will verify first. And then it will match with the function definition. Okay. So here The complete user-defined function we are placing immediately after the main function. This is the general method all the programmers will follow to implement the user-defined function. And this is the method preferred by all programmers. Okay, so this is the second method. Next, the third method is function we can declare in separate file. Okay, so in this method, place the main function in separate file and place the user-defined function, that is the complete function definition, in separate file. So both the files we need to compile separately. Main function we need to compile separately and the user-defined function we need to compile separately. So compile both the files separately with the different names. Then with the hash include file name .c, include the user-defined function in main function. Okay. So here if you are considering, this is the main program and this main program we have compiled with the file name file main.c. Okay. And this is the user-defined function and this we have compiled as a separate program. This we have returned separately and compiled separately with the file name swap.c. Suppose if I wanted to use this user-defined function in the sense, just one statement we have to include here with the file name, that is hash include file name.c. So what is the file name here we have given? That file name.c within double quotes we have to include here. So if you are including like this, in the sense, this user defined function we can able to use in this main function. That is the meaning. Okay, so now we have included the second file. This main function is the first file, the swap function is the second file. Both files we have returned separately as a separate program and we have compiled separately. Okay, and inside the main function we have declared two variables. Enter the values for a and b, and we have called the function swap of a comma b. So this swap is nothing but this user defined function name. This is the file name. Okay, this we can give any name. Okay, these two names can be different also. This is the file name, this is the user defined function name. This file name we have to include here in the global declaration section after the header file. Okay, like a header file we have to include this another file, and this is nothing but the user defined function name with the parameters. Okay, so here swap of a comma b. So this is the actual parameter. Suppose if we have entered a value 3 and b value 5 in the sense, this value will be passed here, this 3 and 5, and it will execute this user defined function and it will exchange with these codes. Okay, so now x value will be 5, y value will be 3 after performing this swap function, and here it will display 5 and 3 for a and b after executing this user defined function. So the logic here is the file name we need to create separately, that is we need to write the code separately and we have to include as a header file here, and the syntax is has include within double quotes we have to include the file name.c. This should be compiled separately, and inside the main function we can call this user defined function with its function name. Okay, function we can create in separate file and we can access in main function. So what is the advantage of this method in the sense, this user defined function, if it is required for different main functions, main programs in the sense, with this two statements we can able to include in any number of main functions without writing the code again and again. This file again it is not required to create it. Okay, already created, and this we can call in any program with the main function any number of times. Okay, that is the main advantage. It is not necessary to write the code again and again for other programs. This file we can use it for n number of programs. So in this session we have discussed the location of function, that is complete user defined function after the header file, the user defined function after the main function, and user defined function in separate file. So these are the three methods of implementing the function. Thank you for watching this video.